All right, so in 2 days' time, we're gonna have the half anniversary events and characters and maybe even content revealed, right? I'm gonna be streaming it, so I hope to see you guys there. And while this is for JP, it's gonna come to global in about 3 months. 3 months. So keep that in mind. It is very close away. So definitely. I think this is an important video, and we're going to talk about the characters I expect to see, their colors, their roles, the content, and also any other things that are very important, and there's actually many different things. So we know that it's a hidden inventory themed event because they say so right here. Tama Bun is basically hidden inventory or premature death, right? And that's going to be for the 1.5 anniversary. Now, do they incorporate Shibuya? We'll have to see. However, right now, all we know is there will be HI, and HI right now from on screen, we see a Shoko, a Ghetto, and a Gojo. Now, they are holding fireworks of colors from color typings in game. However, we have a yellow Shoko and a blue Ghetto. I just don't see that really being the case. I don't see us getting a yellow Shoko again. I don't see us getting another blue Ghetto. So what we're going to talk about, first of all, is their colors. Now, personally, I'm of opinion that red Ghetto is going to happen because green and blue already have a Ghetto, and yellow does not need another sub DPS support. We have a support here, here, right? Even here and here. So, and here, technically, sub DPS more so. So, I just don't think we don't need that for yellow. Yellow is in a decent spot as long as you have Zonji, pretty much. I would definitely say it would make the most amount of sense for it to be red because, you know, these three just don't make sense. So red Ghetto. Also because we need a good sub DPS to help do damage. If we're able to do a bit of damage, then it makes that floor 80 boss versus Jogo be to where there's not much of a problem. However, could you maybe say Teen Gojo? Yeah, you could. I could see Teen Gojo here if you're saying, okay, we need a red DPS to kind of sweep floor 80. However, what happens to Domain Gojo? Then it just makes no sense, and it shows me they just don't plan ahead like at all. Like at all. Okay. Now then, next up, we did Ghetto, so red Ghetto. Now Shoko, I'm saying blue because we already have yellow Shoko, red Ghetto, right? And then I'm saying green Gojo. So I think Shoko is the last one I should talk about, but yeah, she's going to be a blue universal support in my opinion. But I think Gojo is the important one to talk about. We already have, this is important, we already have a yellow Teen Gojo, so no. For red, our last Gojo was red. And then for blue, if they make blue Gojo, I've already said this multiple times. Blue Gojo makes no sense because blue Gojo means the two best DPSs that are gapping the game are both blue. Where is the logic there? Right? Because we know it's going to be Teen Shoko. Teen Ghetto, I have no clue what Teen Ghetto is going to be really. But then we know that it's going to be the hollow purple Teen Ghetto, right? I am the honored one, right? So because of that, it would make no sense for Gojo and Sukuna to both be like miles better, and then red, green, and yellow have no good DPS comparatively, right? So in my opinion, he cannot be blue, he cannot be red, right? And then he cannot be yellow, so that leaves green. So I think we're gonna get a red, blue, and green. That's my personal thoughts. Let me know your opinions on that. It's just a bit interesting that they have that for Shoko, but hey, is what it is. So that's going to be my thoughts on it. I think Shoko is going to be a universal supporter. I could see that happening. Maybe either, I don't know how they do it. Maybe the thing that I could see is that she's basically like half a debuffer, half a buffer. So this is going to allow her to work well in everything and make her very, very, very strong. But, for example, in some of the newer floors, right, obviously, buffers or debuffers work better in some instances. So then on yellow, Shoko would still be better, right? So that because she gives really, really good buffs. Like, what if this Shoko gives a bit less buffs, right, but also gives debuffs and then half for half are lowered? Something like that is what I could imagine. And, you know, maybe I'll be right. Maybe I'll be right. Now, next up, I actually do see us getting floor 100 in terms of content. I could see it. We currently have till floor 80. Now, why I'm saying 100 is just that, like, if they don't release any content, then there's a bit of a problem. Now, the main thing is that if they don't release any content, it means the content came out before anniversary, and that would mean anniversary itself has no content. Most people have already cleared a decent chunk of it, and I do think that selling a solution is good. However, usually you want to do that at the same time. That's usually what I would recommend. And also, I believe that at the same time, you want to have something new for anniversary because no matter what, people have already seen everything in the past month of what what tower is able to offer, right? So that's something very important. Okay, I do think they need new content, whether it be 10 or 20 floors. I think it should be 20 because it would be pretty funny if a random update beats out Anniversary in content, but I digress, right? I do digress on that point. Now, besides this, if they don't want to do tower, maybe a new game mode. I think a new game mode could be good, or just adding some new content. They could do more formidable foes in the, what's it called? Like, oh, dude, like when we fought, yeah, the formidable foes. I think that's what they're called. Or they could do Illusory Realm, right? Anything. I think anything could be good. But if we're doing an HI themed event, I think just keeping it basic to tower update floor 100 could be good, right? It definitely could be good. And hey, maybe we'll get like a Toji boss fight, maybe. So we'll see. But I think it's possible to get floor 100, or else it just kind of sucks, right? This anniversary is gonna suck. Just keeping it objective, right? It is gonna suck. People on global are complaining because there's no content and we got 10 floors. So what's gonna happen when there's 0 floors, right? That's kind of my thoughts on the matter. Now, next up, we are gonna get buffs because we are in that time frame. We got some in January, then a month and a half later we got some in March, and then a month and a half later would put us in May. So then we are gonna be needing some buffs. Now, my top contenders, I've already talked about this, is red Yuji, blue Gojo, green Maki, and then I would say like yellow Inumaki. These are my top 4 contenders. Red Yuji would just be so good. Like if they just increase anything in his kit, he'd be so good. Like his skill 2, if they make it better, he'd be great. His skill 3, if they make it better, he would be busted. Okay, like the things to make him better is his skill 3 and 4. So his ult. So if his skill 3 like does more damage and gets like a 50% buff, and then his ult like increases in damage, or also adds other buffs here, that or debuffs I should say, that would be great. Now, what I personally see them doing is probably increasing the skill 3 damage and buff, and then also increasing one of the passives, probably the Black Flash one, to where now it's going to give maybe Taijutsu, and then maybe like a Black Flash rate increase, and then maybe also like another buff, right? Maybe a damage buff, right? So like that would make him good because he's already very good and he's on the cusp of being great. And then Gojo, I just think what they're going to do is probably increase either his buff or ult damage, one of these two, and then increase his turn count to like 9 or 10. I don't see them doing more than that. If they do more than that for a Gojo, I would be surprised, but I do think it's about time for blue Gojo, because I just don't see them ever making him really great again, but I could definitely see him being pretty good if they bring him back, maybe increase his damage like at least a bit, right? Then next up, I do think Maki would work. I mean, we're kind of needing like a green taijutsu unit, like another one I would say, but at least like making one really good again, like buffing one could be really fucking fire. And I would really want to see Maki, okay, because Maki does have a decent potential. Like her ult is 950. If they make that closer to 1500, like maybe if it's 1300 or whatever, that could be really good. Besides that, it's just Maki's never get the best buffs. Like red Maki kind of got shafted. So there is that to consider, for sure. But I do think that they could do a lot with her kit because she works where she has to use attacks to really buff herself up. So if they do something like with her skill 2 and ult, or hey, maybe they just increase her passive a shit ton, then yeah, I could definitely see it working. Then Inumaki, why I want him is because he's already so good in yellow floors that if they actually buff him, they could do a really good job. For example, this could maybe become an, no, maybe I wouldn't say like an AoE heal because it's supposed to be single target heal. So they're not going to touch this. It's probably going to be the skill 2 to where the support is going to increase because right now it's a 20% damage increase on the enemy, but maybe it's now going to be a 40% for 3 turns or something like that. And then I could maybe see them changing or increasing how the revives work. I just want him to become able to support damage wise better and also at the same time revive more, and that's kind of what I'm seeing for all that. And then next up, right, those are the 4 buffs. Maybe they'll do more, maybe they'll do less, but I really, if we don't see any of the 4 that I mentioned, I will be a bit sad unless they cook with the buffs, right? I want to see red Yuji. The whole community wants to see red Yuji, so yeah, we'll move on from that now. The next point I want to talk about is standard banner update. That's also going to be happening very close to anniversary, either in May or June. It should be happening. They might push it up a bit because it should be every 10 months. The last one was in October, so that would put it about like from May to June, right? About you could even maybe push it to July, but just expect this around anniversary time, maybe leading out like out into the should we update next to anniversary, right? And this will include like a bunch of these units. My guess and people's guesses is that it will cut off like around Yaga. Okay, like I'd say, well, whoa, wait, they're not in order. Never mind. Sorry. Why are they not in order? It would probably cut off around here. So that would include everyone here, right? Basically. And why this is big is, well, obviously HI units are going to be on standard. That's huge. And then Saki's going to be there. Blue Miwa is really good now. Blue Inumaki. And then green Megumi, yellow Yaga. All these units are going to be really good. So this is like about what you should expect. And yeah, I mean, this should be coming very soon. And that might also include Gaku Ganji, which is going to be very big for people when you're actually going to be able to pull them if you haven't been able to yet. Because I know some people couldn't, and I mean, I didn't have Gaku until I got him on the paid banner. Very fortunately, that was an insanely lucky pull. So once he's on standard, you're going to get him very quickly. This is going to be an amazing standard banner update because good, meh, good, meh, good, good, right? And then good. So it's like all these units are pretty good overall. Now, the next thing and the final thing is that anniversary or onwards, I'm not too sure how they're classifying it, but I think it's this 1.5 Annie. Either this or second Annie. Actually, someone correct me down below. But they're actually going to start increasing the rewards through map events and story events and just events in general. So there's going to probably be at some point an increase in rewards, which is actually going to be really, really big. So actually do start expecting that because it's going to happen, right? At some point, I've been told that it was going to happen, and that was one of the translations they got. That I think it was 1.5 anniversary. They will be increasing the rewards that people will be able to get in terms of cubes from them. So that's going to be huge. And overall, that would wrap up the anniversary. If they throw in some other things, that's great. But if we get good characters with solid colors, new content, character buffs, and standard banner update close enough within reach from anniversary, I'm happy. But the content has to be good. Obviously, I think they should make some special events, but I'm not here to talk about their events. I'm going to judge them when they're out and see if they're good or not. But yeah, let me know what you think down below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching this video. Bye-bye.